been in my in my pastime, in the snow or in Antarctica or whatever, I will be in serious problem within 3 hours, correct?
Mm.
Even more if I'm wet. Okay. All right. Remember, rule of three, 3 hours exposed. And then we are moving over survival psychology. This part is so relevant. It's really important. Okay. Because uh, humans are able to do amazing things just with the proper mentality. Okay. So remember, observe the four rules I teach you, and now we will cover a specific topic regarding survival psychology. Okay? So emotional self-regulation. What is this? Question for you. Have you seen that as time goes by and we get older, we feel more emotional facing different things that in the past mean nothing for us? Have you seen that? It happened myself. I mean, I've been in a really hard situation uh, during the service. I, I was deployed in different places. I served with different forces, many times with the U.S. forces, and um, and things that in the past never, never mean anything to me, like watching a movie, for instance. Right now makes me more emotional.
Because we are time to reflect and regret, and so that has it.
That's one side, but the other side is we are accumulating stuff in our mind, and we are resisting for years and years and years. But our body and our minds, our body and our minds pass us the bill for that. It's not free, all right? So there's no free meals in life, and this is not the difference. Okay? So that is why I find myself several times watching a movie and I feel emotional. I say, hey, dude, you're a badass Marine. What happened to you? Yeah, because it gives me the bill, right? So when you are under a heavy stress situation, many of basic situation will affect you even more and more and more. What is emotional self-regulation? It's the capacity of realizing that you are under a crisis. So you need to calm down. Again, remember, rule number one, you need to calm down. If you are with someone else, you can be the co-regulator with the other person. That means if you are if you are aware that your partner or the one next to you is not strong enough or is not stronger than you, you know immediately that you must be his co-regulator. And you have the duty to collaborate to bring peace to that mind. Make sense? Make sense? Right?
Yes.
So let's say that I see, let's say that Richard is with me and he sees that I'm weaker and weaker and weaker in every step we take in the wilderness, right? If he feels stronger than me, and even if he doesn't feel but has the willing to succeed better than me, he should be preparing to be my co-regulator. Okay? We can regulate ourselves. For instance, if I feel that I am going down, I just need to calm down, sit down, lie on the ground, breathe. Okay, breathe, relax. Okay, it will help, right? It will. Remember, every time you lose control, you start making wrong decisions. Okay, remember, emotional self-regulation is a key factor. Develop a positive survival attitude. I will make a question that is related with the first part that I know, no all of you attend, but what is the best knife? which one is the best knife? I'm a knife designer, so you should be able to tell me which one is the best knife. Could be this one too, right? One of my last Bison knife. The best knife is the one you have in your hand, right? That is a good example of developing a positive survival attitude, right? If you have a piece of glass, it is the best knife you can have. Got it? So you need to see in every crisis an opportunity. You be the positive one, because the same as the panic, this thing is contagious too. If you are positive, you will get the rest of your partners, if you're with someone else, becoming more positive too, right? So develop a positive survival attitude. Face the reality and adapt to any situation, right? Remember, have a plan. Why I say face reality? Because one of the stages of the crisis is denying, right? No, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. But it is happening, right? It's the same that happened with addicts, all right? The first step for them to recover from any addiction, which one is to recognize that you have that issue, right? All right. My airplane crashed down. I survived. So it is a good thing. I survived. It is not easy, and I did it. So I will overcome. Right? I will overcome. Face the reality. This is what is happening. All right. I'll face it. Okay. Be creative, improvise, and adapt. Here we have an example, right? You see those rackets, all right? You don't have rackets and you need it, you just create them, right? This is pure bushcraft, you see? Bushcraft is the art of taking anything from the landscape and turning into what you need. Right? So you don't have rackets and you need it, you just create it. And finally, persevere, have the will to move on. It's pretty much related with being positive and never give up, of course. So persevere. You have an objective. If you don't have an objective, you need to realize what your objective is. Of course, the first one is remain alive and get back to your family, to the world in the best condition you can. All right. What about when you survive in groups? How to organize? Any one of you have an idea of how to do that? Let's say that we crash in an airplane, we don't know each other. What would you do? And all the one we have right here now in this meeting, we are the survivors. What would you do?
Is that a rhetorical question? Or are you serious?
Serious.
We try to get to know each other and try to communicate and get to know each other and find each other's strengths.
All right. Yes. To see, all right, who is next to me? What is the background or whatever? Okay. All right. That's a good thing to do. It is easier to organize in a group that you know. Let's say that you know the story of the rugby team that crashed down in the Andes in the south, the Uruguayan rugby team.
Right.
Right. There was a couple of movies about that and 3 books or 4, I think. The book and the main movie is Alive. Alive, all right? And it's a story of those survivors. There was a rugby team, very young people. They crashed down in the Andes mountains, right? In the middle between Chile and Argentina. And they spent 72 days in the snow with nothing, right? They ended up eating bodies, right?
Yeah.
Dead bodies. Yeah. So for them, it was easier to organize because they knew each other very well. They were partners. They were a sport team, top athletes. So it was easy for them to organize. regardless, it was a hard situation. Okay, I know one of the survivors personally. Jose Inciarte is one of the survivors, right? So what do we do when we don't know each other? So what Leah said is correct. Start digging. Who is the guy next to me? But there is a good technique now that I will show right now. That is the animals technique. So how this works? We will start. How do you say this? We will start comparing or relating some animals attitude we have learned in our life that we assign to some animals, to the people we have around us. So if I show you the wolf, what would you think? What is the wolf? Or who will be the wolf?
The alpha, the leader.
The alpha, yeah, right? The leader. But also it could be a second leader, maybe a bad leader, correct? But we agree the wolf is a hunter, it is an active one, right? It's a hunter, active, leader, right? So it's a strong character among this group, correct? Right. What about the sheep? It's not food, all right?
The weak.
It's not just food, right? Just the crowd, correct? Crowd. So here and there. So we need to be careful because that crowd, those sheep, could be easily taken by a negative leader, right? Or to lose them in any situation. So we take care of those. Right? They are useful, but they need proper guidance. See? We start relating the crew we are right now after a catastrophe, a disaster, and we start relating each one with these characters. The bear. What do you think when I show you a bear? A bear.
A lot of strength, more strength, I think, than the bear.
Right? Strong person. So it's not 100% necessary that you think on a bear. You can think on a bull or any other strong animal in your mind, right? So you have a strong partner next to you. You can give that kind of people hard work to do. All right. So the bird is another useful character. The dog. What would be the dog?
He could sniff out.
Very good, Richard. Loyalty. A good partner next to us. It could be a single leader or an assistant. Okay. And also the dog will take good care of who?
The goat, the sheep. The sheep.
Right? The sheep.
Yeah. He's a herder. He could be a herder.
Exactly. So maybe if we have a second leader which is not that good, maybe that wolf, it is a good leader, just need to be handled or managed in a very smart way by the real alpha. Correct? So the dog will help you to do that. Will protect these ones. All right?
But excuse me, on the bear, because we had them, they were more adaptable because they could survive underground as well as in the trees. And with their claws, they can rip a wolf or something wide apart. And they're more strategic, I think, on their survival.
Yeah, but you're talking about actually a bird. I'm talking about relating
to the
if you remember books we have read during our history, during our life, right? Mm-hmm. You will see that animals, we humans, assign to animals sort of conducts or attitudes, correct?
Okay.
That's what I mean with this technique. Right? I'm not comparing actually a bear with a wolf in the nature. What I'm doing is trying to extract those attitudes we have assigned during history in our books or legend, even if you want it, say it that way, to this animal as a character.
Oh, characteristics. Okay, characters.
All right, perfect. So that's why it's so important to understand this technique. We will use this technique to organize a group under the psychological aspect during a survival or emergency situation if we don't know who is next to us. Right? The wolf is a leader in alpha, but it also could be a second leader, maybe a negative leader if we don't manage him properly. Sheep, the dog who is loyal to us, as Richard said, and the bear, who is just, brutal strength. Okay, perfect. What about the parrot? If I show you a parrot, what do you think about? What will be in this group? The parrot. Maybe
Avoid.
someone who talks too much, doesn't work a lot, all right?
Yep.
But tell you what, a parrot in the group, one, all right? Not too many parrots. It is a good member of the group. Sometimes it could be someone that,